Now we're here with the Porsche 911 Carrera for the short review. So let's start with thanking Porsche of Stevens Creek, who have graciously lent us this vehicle. And this vehicle is actually for sale now. So if you like this video, you can pick up this car for only $116,000. I think that's the number one thing about this car, is that the bargain that you can get. This car is so special, and for $116,000, you're getting a lot of car for the money. Let's start with talking about the specs, which really justify that. So this car, it starts base at $91,000. And at $91,000, you know, you're just getting what's needed. But once you really get those packages, that's what makes this car super special. So let's start with the engine. The engine is a twin-turbo Boxer 6 engine, which produces 443 horsepower. This car weighs only 3,100 pounds, and for that weight, the 443 horsepower is insane. Now, you'll see what really makes that special in the driving shots that we get from the long review, so stay tuned for that. Other specs about this car is that this car can hit 60 miles per hour in only 3.5 seconds. And one thing about Porsche is that they always severely underestimate their vehicles. These cars can actually go maybe 0.1, 0.2 even seconds faster than what Porsche is rating. They're not trying to fake it just to get you to buy it. They're selling you something, and then you're gonna be pleasantly surprised with what the car offers after that. Let's talk about some other stuff about this car, other specs. Nurburgring times. So of course the Nurburgring, if you don't know it, it's the longest racetrack. It's in Germany. It's around 13 miles long, and it's the standard for any vehicle to set performance lap times. Right now, the king of the ring, quote unquote, is either the Porsche GT2 RS or the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. It's highly debated what is. That's another video. Let's talk about this car's Nurburgring time. This car lapped the Nürburgring in only 7 minutes and 34 seconds. That is amazingly fast for a 4-seater vehicle. For a car that you can take on road trips, for a car that you can go with your family, this car is going around the Nürburgring in 7 minutes and 34 seconds. For reference, the fastest car is around 6 minutes and 47 seconds, something around that. And just being around 45 seconds slower than that, and this car costs just around $100,000. That's something that, you know, is unbelievable. I think if there was one thing that you would say about Porsche, and that's the option that you have to get in any Porsche vehicle, and that is undoubtedly the PDK transmission. Having ridden in a vehicle with the PDK transmission, there is nothing like it. I mean, that dual clutch transmission shifts so fast no matter what gear you're in. It's unparalleled to any other vehicle. And, you know, generally I'd be suggesting a manual vehicle, since you can get this car in a manual. But in a Porsche, I would never suggest a manual Porsche. And that just goes to say how good the PDK is. And you'll see that, again, in some of the driving shots, you'll see some of the shifts. I think that's pretty much it for the exterior of the 911. So let's hop inside and let's look at some of the other stuff that really makes this car so great. So now we're here on the inside of the Porsche 911 Carrera, and there's a few more things that I want to talk about here on the inside. After all, you will be inside the car the majority of the time when you're driving it, so let's talk about what's special on the inside. I think the first thing that I want to talk about is a Porsche signature trait. That's the cup holders. The cup holders pop out. You just open up that panel, you push this, one cup holder, push that, 2 cup holders, and you just fold this back. Then say, you know, this is kind of small. If your drink is a little bit larger, what are you going to do? You can just pull this out. It's an expandable cup holder. Now, it may be a gimmick, but it may be something that you're going to use, and I definitely think it's something that's useful. And I think that just the cleanliness of this design is what I love about what Porsche does, about just keeping the interior so clean. Anyways, let's close these up. Just push that in. And it's so easy. Now, of course, we have to talk about the gauge cluster, since you're going to be looking at that quite often when you're driving. At least I hope you would be. The gauge cluster, just like any performance vehicle, the tachometer is the #1 biggest dial. It's right there in the center. Of course, then you have your speedometer off to the side. Then you have the engine information, which is temperature and all, on the right side. You've got your fuel gauge, and then there's one that's left empty. Now, that is, of course, a display, and that's the customizable one. That's nice that Porsche is, you know, thinking and going in that direction of adding displays and adding, you know, higher technology into their vehicles. That's always nice to see. Of course, there's other stuff about this car, and we have to talk about the premium upgrades package. Now, the premium upgrades package, it is $4,000, and that's a lot of money no matter what car it is. But I'd say it's really worth it in this car. It gives you seat heaters. It even says that it gives you side mirrors and rear view mirror. Now, the side mirrors and the rear view mirror, you might think that's something that every car should have, and that's even something that I'm puzzled on. I don't know why does the Porsche 911 have side mirrors in the premium upgrades package. It's included there in the description. You know, let me know what you guys think about that. What does that mean to you? But anyways, let's go into other features of the premium upgrades package. Of course, that gives you auto dimming mirrors, which are real nice. I can tell you that that's so helpful at nighttime when someone's just flashing their brights behind you. God knows why. People still don't know that they have to turn off their brights, but it really helps to prevent that light from getting into your eye. The premium upgrades package also gives you door pockets. Now, the door pockets are actually quite useful. And this car, of course, as I've been saying, it's a practical vehicle. You've got door pockets, you've got a glove box. The front, up ahead, is very spacious. So this car has a lot of storage room, which means that it can be a daily driver. It can even be a road trip vehicle. And that's not something that you can say about every car. So that's pretty much it for the interior package on this vehicle. The interior has a lot of stuff that makes this car special. And there's still some stuff that I haven't talked about, but that's because I wanted to keep this short. Stay tuned for the longer review next week, and in that we'll talk about more stuff about this interior and more stuff about the exterior, of course. So if you did enjoy this video, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss next week's review. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.